Hello and welcome back to Whiteland Restorations. We're back. Well, I say I'm back. Partly. Leanne is still looking after the lovely baby Louisa, which is going to be the case for a while. But I'm come back to give you some entertainment, if you can call it entertainment, or car fixing, or whatever it is we do in this workshop. So, I've got a riveting episode for you today. I'm quite excited for it because check this out. The spoiler is painted and it is going on in this episode. This is going to be fun. It's going to be cool. Now it is the middle of a heat wave in England and Wales. So first things first. Oh, what a nice back end. I'm going to be riveting the spoiler on with countersunk rivets and a bead of sealer to stop any moisture getting between the panels. In hindsight, I wouldn't have used this method. I would have put the flanges on the inside of the spoiler edge and just bonded it down. That would have been more than strong enough to hold it to the boot, or maybe even put something from the inside to connect it on. Because the car turned out a little different to how I had originally envisaged it. It was going to be a little bit more hardcore road race car. It's now turned out to be more of a really nice hardcore show car kind of thing. But I'm sure the countersunk rivets will look really cool no matter what. So we're going to be countersinking. Well, no, we've already countersunk everything. And let me show you a countersunk rivet. Oh, let me get you to focus. There you go. Little countersunk rivet. 3mm. Very short. It'll hold that spoiler on really easily. To hold it into place whilst we're riveting, we're going to be using these Coleco pins, or as I like to call them, panel pins. They're like temporary rivets, if you see. It'll pull in, you put it through the hole, and when you release it, it grabs both bits of material and pulls them tight together. So we're going to be using these as a temporary method to hold the spoiler in place while I rivet it on. Right then, first we're going to be putting a bit of this Pro XL seam sealer down, and we're just going to follow the holes along. Well, also we're going to be putting a bit down this edge. We don't want too much on there. Down both sides. And then between the holes. Like I said again, I don't want a lot on there, just a little bit, just to create a seal. Right then, now for the tricky bit. Right, I'm going to try and line up the middle hole. Ta-da! Put a few more of these little suckers in. That way around, you idiot. Nice. And nice.
think we're nearly ready for some rivets. I'm just going to make sure this is all pulled in, it's nice and tight. And as many of these squishy holes as I can go in there.
Right, riveting. It's an important bit. It can be easily fucked up. So, especially if you're using a manual riveter like I am going to for this. I do have an air-powered riveter, I just can't be bothered to put the compressor on. So, make sure your rivets fit in the hole, like so. And when you're riveting, when you feel the rivet bite, yeah, instead of pushing down like you have been doing, lift the riveter up away from the panel. So when that snap happens, you pull away from everything rather than skid across the boot lid. Yeah, which I have done, but I have learned to do it this way, and it is a much better way of doing it. So let's have a go, shall we? Even though I am on the wrong side. Right, she's biting, so pull up. Make sure you've got enough thing. And I pulled up and away and safe. So, oh, that was nerve-wracking. One in. I don't know how many there were left to go, but I've got plenty of rivets to be getting on with. Feel a bit of time lapse and a bit of tunes maybe. Hit it. Last rivet, guys, so let's do it together as a family. Oh. Just cleaning off my Clico pin. Oh, the last pull of the rivets. Feel it bite, pull away. Beautiful. Pretty well attached. Right, brilliant. So riveted and sealed down. Next thing we ought to do is clean up this excess sealer that's poking out in a few places. But so far, so good. Right, what I like to use to remove excess sealer is a bit of panel wipe and an old microfiber. Don't pick any microfiber that's too scratchy because it could scratch up some crap. So I tend to have two on the go at once. So one to do 90% of the work. The sealer's coming off faster than I was expecting. Oh dear. Still, it's coming off. Goes to show how hot it is today, guys. And the sealer's going off really fast. Man, that stuff went off fast. Whew, panic station's over. Managed to clean off all of the sealer that was setting very fast because of the old heat wave. So basically, it's attached, and I think it looks fucking cool. It's very well attached. It's very well adhered to the car. I mean, it's glued and riveted. It's not coming off, not unless you wanted to take it off. So that leaves us with the next job, which will be, I think I was going to put a little bit of foam in between these bits here. So when the thing shuts, it's not going to have a metal on metal contact area with the rear quarter here. Some of this stuff here, which is sticky on one side and just foamy on the other side. So I'm just going to cut a slither of this, which will go into there. Just cut it nice and neat and smooth, and that should deal with that basically. But before I go with that, I'm going to put a bead of sealer in between the two layers, make sure that's well sealed before I stick this on. So let's get this boot open and have a look. So yeah, it is heavier than a standard boot lid, but so would the one with the big rubber spoiler, the factory one. So I'm not going to be too concerned about it. We're going to need to upgrade the springs. We'll deal with that later on. And like I said, we've got this little bit here to deal with. So I'm just going to fill that little gap with sealer both sides and then put that foam pad on. Should be great. So I've cut a couple of 20mm pieces of this foam tape. Hopefully we should be able to just stick them on and it'll be cool. Let's see, I'm just going for it. I'm just going for it, you know. Foam tape was a success. Let's close this boot lid for the first time with the spoiler attached and see how it fits. It's heavy. Oh, it's good. It's good. That foam tape is sitting nicely on top of the wings. Now, we are going to put a bit of clear, strong sort of see-through, you know, that anti-stone chip sort of tape in between that layer again. So where that's sitting down, it's going to sit on top of that tape, so we won't get any rubby sort of taking out the paint business going on. So let's give you a tour of the spoiler. So there we have it, guys. Spoiler all done. Really chuffed with it. I think it looks cool. It's what I wanted for the car. The rivets do look cool even in aluminium, so I'll probably be just leaving that as is. So thanks for joining us today, and for anyone who sent congratulations for our newborn, thank you ever so much. It means the world to us. Honestly, it really does. She is perfect in every single way. Spoilers are also good. Get spoilers. So I hope this episode was riveting and didn't spoil anything for you.